Okay, I want to talk about the business opportunity niche here tonight, and one of the reasons why I want to do this is because I want you to understand what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do anything with JVZoo or Warrior Plus, I don't want you to believe that that has to be the entire universe of your online business. Okay, and for some of you, you've got more going on, and so you may want to be doing something inside a business opportunity niche, and you may not. And so I want to talk about what it is. And when we're talking about JVZoo and Warrior Plus, and ClickBank and all of these platforms, we're talking about the business opportunity or a make money niche, right? That's really what the niche is about. It's not necessarily about your experience. It's not necessarily going to be about your even your passion. It really is about it's going to be about making money. Let's get into this a little bit. Now I want you to think about this, right? So the business opportunity niche is anything, right, where you're sort of, and I don't want to use the term in it for the money, and because it makes it sound as if it's a bad thing. But if it doesn't make money, then you're not going to stick with anything any length of time. And as I've said, some of the reasons why we sort of think we have shiny object syndrome isn't because we buy too much. It's really because we're trying to look for a way to just start generating some cash. Now, if that makes sense to you, please put the number 1 in the question box. So the business opportunity niche is really about putting cash in your PayPal account and in your bank, right? So you don't have to try to turn it into a noble calling. Now, I'm sure you want to be ethical, but inside of the business opportunity niche, it's really going to be at some level about generating cash flow. So the business opportunity niche can be a multi-level marketing program, right? It can be internet marketing as we know it. All the other stuff, CPA marketing, affiliate marketing, all that stuff. It can be some of that. It can be day trading, right? It can be day trading. It can be people who write Kindle books, right, in order to make money. Again, this is not necessarily your calling, but it is where what you're talking about is, does it make money? And so you don't want to belabor I guess you don't want to try to make it more, how should I say this? It's legitimate if it generates a profit, right, inside of the business opportunity niche. Now, I'm going to give you some insight on why I say that. In order to be successful in the business opportunity niche, so for example, you don't need a degree in business to be successful in multi-level marketing. You don't need a degree in technology or some kind of specialized training to be successful in internet marketing. You don't need to have a financial markets background to be successful in day trading. You don't need to have an extensive writing career to be successful as a Kindle writer in order to make money. This is the business opportunity niche. So we're looking for different business opportunities, and we continue to try them on until we find one that actually works. And that is really why sometimes what we do is we go through several of them before something starts to make money. Now, if this isn't making sense, it will in a minute. So I'm going to get to it, but hang with me here. The business opportunity niche is what I call arbitrage, right? Arbitrage. What you have to do in arbitrage, right, is you have to be figuring out how to buy low and sell high. What do I mean by that? Think in terms of Kindle. Right, so the question inside of Kindle, those who are involved in Kindle in order to make money, is how to create the right kind of Kindle book as fast as you can and get it in front of the market. How can you do that? And so there are people who are outsourcing their Kindle books to other writers because they just want to be involved in the marketing. So they're willing to pay somebody a fee to do the writing, and then as long as they're going to be able to sell it, and they've got a lot of them, they know they're going to make money over time. And so this is what arbitrage is. It's really what the business opportunity niche is all about. You've just got to be able to figure out how to sell stuff, right? You've got to be able to figure out how to sell high. Right? Buy low and sell high. Now, it sort of gets better than that now. Now, here's the thing. And here's why sometimes I think we might even get confused by it, right? Anything that you bring to the business opportunity niche will give you an advantage. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is people who are successful in the business opportunity niche, they often have a sales background. They know how to sell, right? They just transfer that into the stuff that goes on the internet. Now, again, I'm not saying that you will not be successful if you don't know how to sell. I'm saying, though, that you never want to compare yourself to somebody who came to this industry who already knew how to sell stuff, right? Because they're going to be at a distinct advantage when they're trying to generate sales. Programmers, you've probably seen this, right? Programmers are going to be at an advantage inside of the business opportunity niche because all they've got to do is create something that people need and people will buy it because people are always looking for an easier way to do things. So if you can program something without having to outsource it, you're at an advantage. You come to the business opportunity niche with an advantage. If you are a trainer or teacher, right, and you can engage people and you can train and you can sell stuff from the stage, then you come to internet marketing with an advantage. What can you, so the question is going to be, what do you bring to the business op world? What do you bring to it? What do you have that you bring to this that gives you an advantage? And as long as you provide the value to the end customer, you're going to be golden. So in other words, nobody cares that you wrote a Kindle book and you know nothing about the subject, you had it outsourced. Now, you're not going to go telling them that, but nobody cares about that as long as they find the Kindle book that you sold to them to be valuable or entertaining. They don't care, right? So the question is going to be, well, okay, in order to be a writer, you're supposed to go to this kind of school and you're supposed to get this kind of training. And really, that's not it at all. If you figure out how to sell the right Kindle book at the right time, right? And the end user enjoys it, then you've done your job, right? The business opportunity niche rewards people who can find the market, buy low, and sell high, right? That's what it rewards. Doesn't necessarily reward the person who has the most experience. It doesn't necessarily reward the person that is, quote, in their creative space. It doesn't necessarily reward people who are always going to be looking out for the best interest of others. Doesn't always reward people for that. The business opportunity niche rewards people who can find their market, buy low, and sell high. That's what it rewards. I'm not saying that those things are no good. I'm saying that the reality of the business opportunity niche is this: that you must sell stuff, right? And you must sell it to people who want it, right? And you've got to get good at it if you're going to be in it. That's the point. Right? As long as you understand that, if you're going to start playing in the JVZoo world, you're going to start playing in the ClickBank world, you're going to start playing in the Warrior Plus world, those are the rules, right? Provide the value. Nobody cares about how you got it, right? I'm saying stay ethical, but at the same time, though, we're areas where you have a competitive advantage, use your competitive advantage, right? If you have a sales background, it might not be fair that you know how to sell and you started internet marketing a month ago and you're now having phenomenal success, but that's what the internet marketing world rewards. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my own advantage. I don't want this to be all about me, but I am going to sometimes self-disclose. What did I bring to internet marketing? I had already gone through an instructional technology doctoral program. Now, it doesn't mean that if you haven't gone through one, you're not going to be successful, but it does mean that I had an advantage when it came to instructional technology. I had already done commercial lending to small business. So I already knew small business. I knew how to read financial statements. I came to this with that. So when I started to do things like write offline PLR, I was already at the advantage state. I'd already known, in particular, I already knew what small business owners thought because I'd already worked with them and trying to get them loans. I'd already worked with them by spending hours in their office. So when I had to write offline PLR, I could visualize what to write, and I didn't even have to think about it. I could write it pretty fast. As long as I could keep it at a sufficient quality, it was going to be fantastic. I was confident it was going to be fantastic and people would love it. I was at an advantage at that point. I had the advantage. And so here's what I want to kind of bring to you, when you start thinking about this, is that, some of the things you're going to be familiar with, you're going to be able to read and perform faster if you already know it. Okay, so that was sort of my own advantage. Now you are going to make the choice as to what you want to do with the business opportunity niche, right? So you want to sell some stuff in JVZoo. You don't have to build an entire business there. That's not the point of it. The point is to provide people the ultimate value and to get paid from it, right? That's what happens in the business opportunity niche. Now, that is to say, you can make it your career, or you can make it a way to make money or something in between. So it doesn't require you to do or to be anything other than what it is your goal is, right? And the business opportunity niche can be can be treated that way, because again, if you can help people to generate more cash flow, they are going to want to they're going to want to hear from you. Okay, so that's sort of my advantage. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about, and I want to segue into, right? I want to segue into this is as you start thinking about, well, I don't know if I want to be inside of the make money online niche. I don't know if I want to be inside of the small business niche. I may want to be inside of a different market. I may want to be inside of a different niche. And here's the thing you're going to have to remember. If you decide to make this your career, right, the JVZoo, Warrior Plus, or even network marketing world, you decide to make one of those your career, then this is what you are going to have to do. What I'm going to be spelling out to you now, whatever your market is, right? Again, now you can be inside of the business opportunity niche to generate cash and to provide value, but then your brand is going to be something entirely different, right? And so in order to do that, you are going to need a platform. You don't have to build it within the business opportunity niche. It helps to have one. And the question is going to be, can you stand out from the crowd, and can you be known for something that people's hard to do? That's how you build a platform in internet marketing or in the business op niche. What you're going to do is you pick a platform and start talking about it daily or near daily. Can you blog? Can you do live streaming? Can you do YouTube? Can you do something where you're sharing content with people on an everyday basis? Now, what I'm going to tell you about developing a platform, what I mean by a platform, it's a way of communicating with your present and current customers. Don't pick what is easiest. So in other words, you might say, you know what, I can really write a lot of words really fast. That does not mean you need to write a blog, right? Does not mean that. You pick what you're good at doing. If you're good at writing blog posts and people really feel like they've learned something, they feel like they want to do more with you because of as a result of what you've written, that's the thing you want to go with, not necessarily just the thing that's going to be the easiest. Okay? And so when I say that, when you start thinking about creating a platform, you don't have to be on all the platforms, right? You don't have to be on Facebook Live and Periscope and Pinterest and all those places. You don't have to be all those places all at once. That's not necessarily the way you want to do it. And I'll tell you how you're going to do it in this call. And I think if you understand what I'm saying, it's going to make a lot of sense to you. You want to pick one thing, your platform. Your platform. You have to pick something and create a platform. If your platform is going to be Periscope, then do Periscope. If your platform is going to be blogging, then do blogging. If your platform is going to be YouTube, then do YouTube. You have to have one thing you do, because what you're going to do with that one thing is share it every place, on all the in all the source places. You want to build your community from your platform. You want to sell from your platform. You want to sell to your community. And so if you're going to sell products and services, right, you're going to sell them. You're going to do that from your platform, and you're going to do that from the community that you build. So now let's talk about how you're going to do that. What is your platform? By your platform, I mean, you might want to do a podcast. So, you want to get into the technology of this. You might need to, and again, I'm not talking about developing everything, folks. I'm talking about one thing, right? One thing. And if you don't, and if your podcast is boring and people don't like it and they're not being helped by it, you don't have to do a podcast. You can do video, right? You can do videos on YouTube and you can share them with people. And if they're helping people, then man, you might want to use that part of your skill set. Live streaming, right? Everybody's doing live streaming these days. Do you need to? I don't know. Right? You might need to, but then again, you don't have to, right? What's important, and I'll say this here in a minute, is that you're there and that you're really giving people value. But you might want to make live streaming into your platform. Can you write? Can you blog? Can you write articles? So in other words, you want to have a platform where you are regularly creating content that's going to be helpful with people. And it does not matter if you only start out with 2 people, right? We used to say back in, when I played baseball in high school, my friend used to say that my high school team averaged 2 drunks and 1 bum at our games because we were just not the popular thing. And everything you're going to do is going to start out that way. You're going to average 1 or 2 people. But that does not mean that does not reach your platform, because when you first start out, nobody's even going to know you're there, and nobody's even going to know it's worth it to spend their time there. Right? But you do have to develop a platform. And if you're going to build a brand outside of the business opportunity niche, this is vital. You must do this. Because if you're going to create an income outside the business opportunity niche, you're more than likely going to mean that you're going to put down roots in it. And that's going to mean you're going to want to have some of these things because these are going to help you to build your community. Right? So articles, we talked about, and actually online radio is just like having a podcast. You're going to use that podcast. You're going to use that platform to develop your community. What do I mean by community? These are people that you communicate with on a regular basis. You might be using email. You might use Facebook fan pages. You might be using LinkedIn groups. You might be using a forum. You might be using YouTube. You might be using Twitter or Skype or webinars. It really doesn't matter. What has to happen, though, is you do have to develop a community, and you develop that community from having picked the platform. If you're doing a regular, let's say you're doing a regular video stream, right? People will eventually come to that video screen, and even people who don't like to be on that particular platform to watch stuff, they will watch it if your stuff is good enough. And so because you sort of pick one thing that you're going to be developing, then you want to develop a community around that too, right? You want to be in touch with them on a regular basis. So what? So if you've got a podcast, you're doing this, let's say you're doing Facebook Live, then look, you've got to build a community around that. A community where people, you can email them and tell them about stuff. You can put a message on Facebook. You can put your message in the LinkedIn groups. Whatever your community is, you need to develop it from your platform, right? YouTube has a community. Twitter has a community. You can be inside of a Skype group. You can be doing webinars. What's important is that you are developing this community from your platform. And of course, what you're going to do is you're going to share and promote the community, right? That means then you might be using Snapchat. It means you might be using Pinterest. And see, all these things are not, and this is important to understand. Sometimes what happens is you hear someone's success, and you think, okay, I got to be on Pinterest because people are having success over there. Or I got to be on Snapchat because people are having success over there. And so the way to look at this is that you want to make sure that you are creating your platform and your community, and you're going to share and promote the platform and the community on these places. So you're going to share and promote your community on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and even traditional media. Right? Live streaming, guest appearances. We didn't even talk about search engines. You're going to do it in publishing. You're going to do it offline. The point is that you are going to want to promote your community. Okay, so the order of things is this. You build a platform, right? Build it on one thing, not everything. Build a platform. It can be the YouTube channel. It can be your podcast, whatever it is, or start writing a blog and do it just about daily, right? Just about daily. This has to become your job. Think about your newspaper, right? Think about anything that's going to be worth someone's time. They'll typically have some kind of platform. It's coming out on a routine basis. So even if you can't do it daily, make sure it's routine. Okay, you're going to share and promote the community through publishing. Okay, so the question is going to be, what is it that you are selling? Okay, what is it you are selling? And if you are going to be selling digital products, right, or branded physical products or software or data or case studies, you can do that. But what you have to do is you have to start building a platform for people to come to you from and to listen to it, to what you're saying, so they can figure out if you are their person or not. If you're not going to do that, then you can operate inside of the make money online niche or the business opportunity niche and just focus on making money. Right? That, and again, and trust me when I say this, I'm not saying it's one is good and one is bad. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm saying, though, you have to keep these thoughts separate in your mind, because if you think that you're not moving fast enough or nothing's happening inside of your brand, that's because it's not the business opportunity brand. It takes time to build a brand outside the internet marketing niche or business opportunity niche. It takes time. Right? And because it takes that time, you can't get frustrated and stop and start something again.